Alright, what is up? So today we are back with another video. And this is going to be a fun one personally. Because I am going to be playing, in my opinion, the best UFC game that EA has produced. And if you can't tell, which you should be able to tell by now, this is UFC 3. Like I said, I really do think it's the best UFC game that EA have produced. I believe it's the most well balanced. I believe it's the most fun. Obviously, it has a lot of its issues, but what a UFC game doesn't have a lot of issues. And I feel like if EA had restarted and bring themselves back to this game, I think they'd be closer to a perfect product than they would be on the likes of 4 and 5. I think this game has a lot less polishing to do and tweaking than the likes of UFC 4 and 5 did, and even previous titles of the game series. So yeah, let's get into it. Like I said, game is better overall. The rank system, you can pick your own weight classes. You don't have to be forced into heavyweights, women's weights, and all that. Not all that good stuff, to be honest. On the rank leaderboards, it told you your wins and losses. It didn't say total fights and wins. It saves some people calculating how many losses they have and realizing, hey, maybe I'm a horrible player. UFC 3 didn't care to hurt your feelings, and yeah, stamina, tracking. The clinch was actually skill based, as much as annoying as it was, especially in the middle of the cage. It was skill based. If you were better than your opponent in the clinch, they couldn't just mindlessly clinch spam, get damage, win rounds, go for submissions, and yeah, not be punished for it as they are not in in UFC 5 you're not punished for it. In UFC 4 you're not punished for it. But in UFC 3 you are, and as well as that, you can throw recklessly. You're gonna end up with no stamina. I think we'll bring it back. And use we'll use the fresh B plus Dustin, I believe he was. Somehow he was a B plus. He was one of the best fighters in the game. I think we may have actually just skipped past him. Interesting seeing the amount of fighters. Here we go, Dustin Poirier. Interesting just seeing the amount of fighters with the model changes and how many fighters aren't in the game. You have Ross Pearson. You know what? It's went out my mind. Let's leave that point. Obviously, Abel Trujillo's not in the game, but he's done some horrific crimes, so justified. Anthony Pettis with his old model, Paul Felder with his own model, even Connor with his old model, Dustin with his own model. So yeah, let's get into it. Try and get a victory here. I feel like, gotta kind of stand my ground here a little bit. But also play a lot more technical. I'm gonna let this Connor kind of rush at me if he wants to, because I know I have trust in UFC 3. I believe if I am good enough, I'll be able to survive. He can throw combos, and come at me and be able to, take me out. But if I'm the more skilled player, I'll be able to survive and I'll be able to punish him then for it. But that doesn't really happen in the latter series in the game, such as 4 and 4. There we go. Oh, yeah, see, that's what I'm on about. If he wants to fight recklessly, we're going to punish him for bringing out that. Fighting like real UFC 3 here. Jab, feint, body, straight lead hook, jab, hook. Oh, and he stuns me. Vulnerability in this game, a lot less forgiving. So you had to be a lot more. You had to be a lot smarter with your strikes and pick your strikes a lot more than you can in UFC 4 and 5. Obviously you can be a lot more reckless and not be just punished as much. The game seems to have just kind of gone backwards as far as the skill gap goes. You don't have to be as just look at the stamina I've lost, and I've been working the body and hitting a lot of my strikes. Can't wait to see the strike count and my stamina at the end of the round. And then I'm sure a lot of you have memorized how bad UFC 5 stamina is. So yeah, you can get kind of a mental reminder. Oh, rear head kick. Spear him. Beautiful. Nice. Oh, look at a beautiful clinch. The beautiful skill-based clinch. You can't just take 2 knees and walk off the cage. No, I forgot you can break off. Oh, beautiful. You're actually punished for throwing teeps and body kicks recklessly as well. I try and duck body uppercut counter to no avail. Take that. I mean, my stamina right now is not looking pretty. And I know this guy's is looking even less pretty. And I mean, you would never see somebody's stamina drop so low in UFC 5. Beautiful. Nice little body uppercut slip combo. He's stunned. Head, body, head. Try for the jab, body uppercut again. Using that teep kick. Oh, I know his stamina is below 50%. Look at that, 91 strikes. That is pure insanity. I've thrown 130, 140s, as high as 150s, and not seeing as much of a stamina drain as I have in this fight. And you have to think, look at the amount of strikes I have actually landed. I have landed way over 50% of my strikes. You can land 20% of your strikes and in UFC 5 and throw 30 to 40 more and still have higher stamina than I had in the later stages of that round. And now look, I don't get saved by surviving into another round and getting nearly a whole new bar of stamina. Game, like I said, just the games have seemed to be a lot more forgiving. They just, you know, I can actually use head movement nicely too. But yeah, game is just way more forgiving. Even in 4 it was more forgiving, but they've just consistently moved backwards. Look, and he's throwing, he's throwing with low stamina. I'm not being punished as much. Oh, nice. Even stunned him with a jab because he went for a big strike with low stamina. And as I said, you can just be punished. In this game, if you had low stamina, you weren't coming back. In the other series of the game, the more recent ones, you just were too, you were just allowed to be too forgiving. Go for the inverted triangle here. Not going to be able to get, a submission, I don't believe. I tried it, obviously not, not as good as I was with the submissions back in the day, but just always a bit of fun to kind of give them a go. Go back into that southpaw there. Beautiful. Being able to really gas this Connor out basically in a round and a half. He's not much too far off of as it's commonly known as zombie mode, where you're kind of walking around very laboured. I called it. I mean, it is beautiful. Look at him. A round and a half in, walking zombie mode. Look, he only threw 37 strikes this round and 105 last round. Just because a nice little bit of technical body work goes a long way, and you cannot throw recklessly and miss a lot of your strikes. You just have to be very thoughtful and mindful with what you're throwing. It's a sight to see, because you know what, I have been paid off for my good work. Let's see if we can get a clinch here. He tries to break out, but I don't let it. Nice. Oh, he tries to break off there and gets it. Obviously a GA after the block. Oh, nice. I'm once again punished for, not well set up on my body kicks and my teep kicks. Oh, nasty. Alright, we can't bring ourselves to the stamina that he's at. We need to fight a little bit more well, timed. To pick my shots better than he has. Oh, beautiful. Stuns me. I was trying to get the body jab into lead hook, into, straight hook. I do risk throwing these body kicks, but thankfully I do stun him with a jab, I believe it was a jab, possibly it being a straight. But once again, look at the amount of strikes I have thrown. Only 80 that round and 90 previous. I believe at the end of that round I was nearing the 50% stamina mark. It's really just what makes these games the difference night and day. It's so evident as far as the changes and just how the game's kind of moved backwards. You can see that he's been missing strikes and I've been able to punish him badly off of him. But in 4 and even more so now in 5, you just don't have that same type of punishment. Oh, beautiful. Rear upcut, front kick. The combos flow even better. Going balls to the walls here. Oh, but I'm going balls to the walls, and I'm also risking my life for it, you know, when I don't need to, of course. But in UFC 5, as I said, you don't really be doing that. I know I've been bashing UFC 5 a lot in this video, but seriously, I just feel like it's forgotten about how backwards that EA have moved in a lot of ways. Obviously, I do believe the submissions are better in UFC 5. You know, I believe the clinch in the middle of the cage is probably a little bit better than the clinch in the middle of the cage is in this game, because it's too slow, and not just a slow dance, and you can just, it's unrealistic in this game. But the cage on the clinch is way more realistic. You can walk there, go into multiple positions, and yeah, just look at this. I have thrown my load in this fight, and oh, beautiful. Some well-timed shots from him mixed with poorly placed and timed shots from me, as well as being at low short-term stamina when I'm throwing them, has led to me being punished and wasting my stamina once again. Well-timed shots, high vulnerability, but we're going to try and put the pressure on now, because we don't want to be in a place where we actually ruin our own stamina and you know, end up in a similar spot to this man. Lead body kick straight, and we flatten him. Yeah, it's beautiful. I presume he had little to absolutely no stamina towards the end of that fight. And look, I was at 50% marker. You could argue I was even less. And let's just go see, as far as the fight statistics and stuff like that, how many strikes I had thrown in total. So yeah, in that last round, I had only thrown 72, 79, and 91. If you aren't breaking 100 strikes a round in UFC 5, what are you doing? Because the game is that the game is that forgiving. And yeah, look at my body health even. Look at the amount he worked my body, and look at the little strikes I threw in comparison to 5, and look at my stamina. It was, yeah, definitely an eye-opening fight. I feel as though a lot of you, if you've played UFC 3, or even if you haven't, you're going to be able to see this fight here and just kind of get back down memory lane. And you know, it's just a shocker to see it again, even for myself. You know, you think there's a big difference, so we've spoken about, between 3, 4 and 5 as far as stamina, damage, the clinch and all that goes. But once you really are back in it again, playing there, having to reserve your stamina and having to pick your shots a lot more, it's an insane difference. And yeah, that McGregor player tried to take my head off early with 105 and 63 significance. He done a lot of damage, got a stun, but he risked his stamina in return, and luckily I was able to survive and yeah, drag him into deep waters, and I was rewarded for it. But at the same time, if I wasn't so defensively good, that man would have been able to take my head off. He would have drained the stamina, but he would have been able to get the KO. But thankfully enough, you know, like I said, you can just kind of work both things in this fight and get rewarded for your style and how well you implement it. And yeah, that'll be me. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I do appreciate all the support as well. If you have liked it, I'd like it to be appreciated, as I said. Subscribe and all that good stuff. Turn on the notification bell as well. I'm going to get back to streaming very soon. Just had a little short break. You know, and been a little bit more active outside of the gaming community. Once again, appreciate you all for watching, and yeah, peace out.